So I'm Queen of Degens, aka Jess. You can call me Jess. Queen of Degens is a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? So I'd like to welcome everybody to this is actually the second Jesse Degens AMA, and I'm very excited to have our friends here from the Farming Collective and the current Tegridy, Miner and Token. So with that, I think I would like to hand over to Tom and Dogus, just so you can say hi and introduce yourselves.
Yeah, what's up? My name's Tom. On the team for the Farming Collective, and I'll let Dogus introduce himself.
Yeah, my name is Dogus. I'm the marketer for the Farming Collective. So I think we're doing pretty good. We're growing at a pretty steady pace. So it's nice to meet you guys.
You are. Yeah. I am literally watching all day long, watching those beans like dripping in bit by bit, and fucking actually they're flooding in at the moment, aren't they? So let's get started on this AMA. I like sell these AMAs. This is a bit different. I've done so many AMAs with other projects that I've worked for, and like honestly, most of them are like watching paint dry. So I like to mix it up a bit, make it a bit entertaining, because otherwise, I mean, what's the fucking point? We're all degens here. So let's start off having a bit of fun. Come on, you guys are degens, right?
So what should I do? Take a bong rip or something?
Tell us a joke, or tell us something that's going to make us laugh.
You want us to tell you a joke?
Yep, come on.
Oh fuck!
I told you this wasn't going to be your run of the mill fucking vanilla shitty AMA, didn't I?
You did, Dogus. You got any jokes, man?
I'm not the best at jokes. I'll be honest with you. I'm not.
All right, come on. I'll help you out. Tell us about Tegridy. Tell us about where that comes from. Why Tegridy? Well,
we actually started out as Tegridy Farms, which, if you ever watch South Park, it's like a weed farm, and you know, we were doing it right before 420, you know, to kind of build up some hype for 420. And as I was, you know, trying to reach out to YouTubers, a lot of them wouldn't cover it, unfortunately, because it's, you know, weed themed. It's sad, and, you know, 2022 is still taboo, you know, for weed. I don't smoke it myself, but I am a supporter of it. I think it should be legal. But, you know, we decided to rebrand just to make sure, you know, that we could make this project sustainable and be marketable to everyone. So that's how we kind of evolved into the Farming Collective, where, you know, our BSC farm that we have currently, it's actually called Tegridy Farm still. It's not weed themed, but there are some Easter eggs on the farm. You can actually see, if you look up at one of the windmills, you can see Randy peeking around the windmill. It's a little,
oh, really?
Little Easter egg. Yeah. So, you know, there's like, our dev is extremely experienced with this stuff. It's crazy. I know he's been doing programming for like, I think he told me 25 years. So, you know, this is nothing to him. But yeah, I mean, we started out as Tegridy Farms, and we rebranded to the Farming Collective. And, you know, like I said, our BSC farm's still called Tegridy Farms, but as we create new miners on different chains, they're still going to be farm related, but it's going to have a different name, you know, for that farm. So It's kind of where we originated.
Yeah. I mean, like, I love the UI. I was a little bit disappointed that they're not weed plants growing though. I've got to be honest. Yeah. I wanted to see my ganja coming up.
No, I feel that for sure, and it was a big, it was a tough decision that we had to make as a team to move forward without the weed and the South Park theme.
Yeah,
But
I get it. I
yeah,
get it.
ultimately we were having trouble. Like we Dogus is, uh, he's a great marketer. He's really good at what he does, and he's got a lot of connections in the space. And just a lot of the people weren't interested in marketing the product because of their algorithm. That it would have just messed up with the cannabis theme.
They end up getting cut, don't they?
Yeah,
Talking
exactly.
about
So I mean, once we made that switch, it was a tough couple of days as a team as we were working, because we were working really hard to get it pushed out as quick as possible. Because obviously we know, like, getting this stuff out with the the rush and the hype is super important.
DeFi doesn't sleep.
Exactly. So we managed to we did the full rebrand in just under, or just over 2 days about. And once we did that, we had people posting, we had, like, everyone was starting to get on board, and we went from like 130 or 140 beans to like 400 beans in like 24 hours. It was something crazy.
I ate myself about halfway up there.
Yeah,
After
exactly.
DeFi Lo-Fi fucking relentlessly shilled it to me, but yeah.
Yeah, so we've developed this rebrand, this new look, and we still have a very successful miner and token that's going right now. Dogus has killed it with the marketing. We got a big YouTuber that posted this morning, and
I watched it.
You watched it? Yeah, it was good.
I watched it. I posted it in this channel. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So. Yeah, and it's exciting because it's not, we're not stopping here, right? We still have these other chains to reach out to, and the really cool thing that we're planning on doing as well is, like, each chain's going to have its own completely different design, and it's going to have its own UI interface that's going to be completely different from one another. So it's really going to feel like you're in another, like, planet essentially within the metaverse for the different chain. And yeah, so there's a lot of development that our dev is working on that.
Did I hear right in that YouTube video that you're going to actually have a farm on the moon?
Yeah, so that was our idea for the Harmony chain, if I'm not mistaken, Dogus. But the dev, like, as Dogus said, he can literally do anything that we ask for, and it's pretty amazing to have.
Amazing. You should definitely have a farm on the International Space Station.
Yeah, that would.
I mean, and, like, could you imagine walking around with a VR headset, like, on the moon, making money, harvesting your plants and stuff? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the possibilities are endless with this.
Dude, it's so lit. I'm trying to a VR headset, just because, like, I don't have one, but I want one now.
Why, but I want to get one now.
Yeah, I'm getting one for sure.
And watch my plants going. And if you're telling me you're going to be making VR farms on the moon, then, like, fuck, I'm there. I mean, it's DJ in heaven, if you ask me. So. I'm interested about the different chains. Can you tell us what chains you're looking at the moment, and, like, maybe give us a sneak little insight into which chain you're going to be heading to next?
I don't believe that we've set an exact one that we're going to move to next yet. But the ones that we had in mind were Harmony, and A-Star, just because there hasn't been any miners that have been built on.
Hot.
Yeah. So A-Star is that new chain, right? And then there's definitely degen projects that are popping up on there, but I don't believe there's been any miners on either of those. And Harmony has a lot of diamond hands on it. Like, I've been on that chain, and everything you get into, it's just like, it's so nice. You just buy it and hold, and they have all done well for me. So, and then of course, like, AVAX, as well. And yeah, kind of just moving forward from there.
I have a lot of love for AVAX. So you're talking A-Star, sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Harmony and AVAX. What about Matic, good old Polygon?
Yeah, for sure. All of it's in the cards. Again, we just want to make sure that we're not, dropping. We want to do what's best for the project, and we want to have sustainability within all of the miners. We've seen, I think there's the Kitty miner that they dropped a bunch of miners all over, like on all the chains right at once. And they've also been doing okay, but so we're kind of trying to develop the best strategy. So, and then also like keep in mind that we're going to be developing these metaverses for each chain. So, it'd be pretty difficult it'd take a long time to develop all of those and then drop all of them at the same time. So I think we're most likely going to be just doing one at a time. And then keeping the TVL sustainable so that we're not just like jumping from one to another and letting one die off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a nice segue into your token, because you're not just a miner, are you? You have your Tegridy token. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah. So our token it feeds the ecosystem, or it feeds the Tegridy miner. We have a treasury tax that we're going to be using to do buybacks on the miner, auto liquidity, and then also a marketing fee that's pulled through that tax as well, just to help with further development and marketing for the project as a whole. So, I mean, the tokens really, like, everyone likes to trade a token. Everyone likes to trade a chart. And with like the cult-like community that we're building at the Farming Collective, people are buying and they're holding, and we're going to see this increase. We're going to see, like, I mean, you can already see the chart looks beautiful. And people are holding their bags because they know that, as they hold the bag and the chart keeps looking good, the miner keeps pumping up. All of it works to support one another. So, and even if there is sells on the chart too, like, again, all of it's going back to support the miner. So, everything has been running extremely well, from our side, and also from the investor side. I hope everyone's making good money off this, because ultimately that was the goal from the beginning, right? We started as an extremely small project, and we've grown to be really, really large, and we've got a really great base team that's all supporting the project, and we've had like literally no issues as the team side of things, which is, in my experience, pretty tough to find. So I'm super grateful that we have that as well.
Managing teams in DeFi is not for the faint-hearted. Spent the past year doing it myself.
Totally. Yeah, totally. I mean, there's projects where mods go rogue, and they you always hear the story of like posting the wrong contract at a launch and stuff like that. Just like all that funny business that we don't really have to deal with at all, because everyone just works so well together.
So I think that's a great link to talk about your team. How many people do you have in your team?
We've got 24 members in our team, and then
that's huge.
In our chat, and then we have about 9 core team members that are all working on different sectors.
So when you say 24, I'm assuming you're counting mods in that as well, are you?
Yeah. So we have a private chat that we created that was handpicked by the main guy who wanted to create this project, and he actually got COVID the second day the project launched. So he picked all of us, right? And he actually had to sit out and has been taking care of his health. And it's pretty great that, like, he was out, but like we're all like, we're still gonna push this hard. Like we're still really gonna take this far. So he's super proud of us as well. So that's great.
Yeah, that does sound good. So, so what you've got a private group with all of your team or all of your mods in it, or what?
Yeah,
I'm interested.
It's got our team and our mods, and that's where we kind of conduct our business behind the scenes, and talk about how we progress and move forward. We've got our developer, our owner, our marketers. Dogus is in there, obviously, and yeah, our mods, and then we've got a few of our main shillers that have been shilling the project since the beginning.
Well, you should definitely be inviting me to that group then. Just saying. I'm joking. You don't have to, but like if you want to, I might be interested in that.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, I have no control as to who comes in and out of that group. It's our team owner that handpicked those members. So could potentially talk with him.
Yeah, well, you can talk to him. You can say, look, it's crazy degen lady, and like she might be interested in coming and spying on us in our team. And like, you have to be careful. You have to be aware that I have a fucking big mouth. You might not want me. Just saying.
I think I have this set up now. I was trying to get this to screen share. Did you want to see the farm in action?
Come on, let's do it. I tell you what. Why don't you start off showing us your get your chart up for your Tegridy token and show us a bit of chart porn.
Yeah, I'll get that real quick. Hold up. 1 second here.
I just wanted to
before, so please be patient with me. Hold up. Oh God.
You're up. You're sharing. I see it.
Wait, hold up. How do I get this off? Okay. Is that better?
What's that? Pornhub.com.
There we go. Pornhub.com.
Oh God. Can you guys see that without it being multi-screen, or is it good?
Yeah. Well, I see it. I assume everybody else sees it.
Yeah, I mean, this is our chart right now. It's actually looking really good.
That's porn right there.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the liquidity to market cap ratio, it's almost 10%. So it's really sustainable. I mean, you can see the floor was held really well after launch. I mean, there was a little small dip, but it never went below, the launch price, and then it shot up. We had a YouTuber make a video right around here, and it just shot up like crazy. Of course, people took profits, and then now we're starting to recover from that as well. So the chart looks amazing, and we have an 8% buy tax and 8% sell tax, and a percentage of that goes back into what we call the treasury or the silo, and farm related. So it goes back to the silo, and we use that for we can invest into projects outside of the Tegridy token, and use that to, when we start making profits on that, we'll throw it back into the miner so we can keep an outside revenue source coming back in, and also we'll be doing buybacks on the miner as well. So you'll be seeing some big buys coming in here, adding to the farm balance. So that's pretty much what we also have staking coming out pretty soon for the token. So there is, utility for the token as well. It's not just to feed the miner; it has its own utility. And if you want to look at, let me see here. If you go to the holder list, there's a big wallet right here, 62%. That's actually for the staking. So in order to have a sustainable, long-term system for staking, we have to have enough tokens to supply the pool, which
that's your reward right there. So you're not minting new tokens. You've actually Is it a capped supply?
Yeah, the total supply is 420 million. Because 420 for when we were the Tegridy token. So Tegridy farms. Yeah, but anyways, here's the farm. I know this one looks like there's not much on it, but what's crazy about this farm is the more plants you have, the more like buildings that pop up, animals, like it's crazy. Like there's a
you get more buildings.
Yes, you get more
Shit.
buildings. Let me show you real quick. I had this pulled up. This right here is pretty much like a full farm. So you have all this stuff. Yeah.
Really?
You can even see. Yeah. You can even see how tall the plants actually grow. Yeah. The plants actually grow as you the more plants have.
I'd be like, man, these three boys
Wait a minute.
they're all the same height and the same age.
Who's talking? Wait.
I don't know.
He's talking.
I didn't know what
Who's
was
talking?
going on. I didn't know what was going on.
Whoever that is that's talking, mute yourself now, please. I see lots of people muted here. Okay. Sorry, Tom. Carry on.
No, it's all good. But yeah, if you see, like, if you look right here, the plants are a lot taller than a farm that has barely any plants. So the more plants you have, the taller the plants actually grow. So there's a lot of different features in here, hidden features that people don't even know about, and you'll notice it as you grow your farm and as you compound. Another cool thing, let me show you here. So if you were to buy, I'm just going to buy a small amount. I don't have much in this.
Yeah, come on. Chuck another 50 beans in it, Tom.
Yeah, I wish I had that.
Wait.
All right, so I'm
talking to that's Doga's talking now, isn't it? Sorry.
Yeah, it's Doga's.
Yeah, come on, both of you, chuck 50 beans in right now.
Let's go.
So when you actually buy in, it does this cool little feature right here. It rains.
It's a fucking rainbow.
Yeah. This was actually a recent update. Like a lot of these different features were recent update. So yeah, that's when you buy in. That's what it does. And as you buy more plants, once you reach a certain threshold, you'll start gaining new buildings around the farm. You'll start seeing farm animals. And to me, I think this is one of the most informative D-apps for miners on the market. Like, there's nothing else like this. I have yet to see anything like this. It actually shows how much you earn in BNB per day. So, I mean, you don't even have to calculate this. You don't have to have no Google document, spreadsheet with formulas that you have to put in and stuff. Like, this does this for you.
Boring.
Yeah. And I want to show you as well, when you water your plants, basically compounding. I'm going to show you what it does as well here.
Insufficient.
Yeah. Sorry, my connection's a little slow. So might take a second. It actually starts raining, so it'll take a couple seconds. But all of these features are literally interacting with the blockchain. So, I mean, this stuff keeps up with what's going on with the contract. Yeah.
There we go. I know. I must confess, I've been watering more often than I would usually compound a farm because, like, it rains.
Yeah. Yep. So that's another cool feature, and then there's also there's also a harvest as well, which is basically where you would take your rewards. Yeah. Yeah, you should rarely see this. Hopefully, as long as you're looking to do the 6-for-1. A lot of people do the 6-for-1 method, which is they compound for 6 days straight and then they harvest on the 7th. That right there is actually the best way to start earning more daily, because you see I put in point 0.02 so far, and I'm earning 0.002 per day, right? But the more I put in, like if I compound every day, that adds to that adds to my plants, right? There's people that's already doubled their plants since this is launched. So if you do that daily, you compound daily, you're basically doubling what you're going to be earning per day. And it really adds up over time.
So, okay, I want to drill down into that then, the strategies, because we've been having some conversations about that. So what you're telling us is that it's best to actually harvest after a week and then obviously pump it back in rather than just keep compounding.
Well, if you keep compounding, then essentially you're going to get more plants for the long term, right? So longer term, you'll have a higher plant count, and then potentially be getting more rewards based off of that. We also have in mind like how much money is coming in to the TVL as well. So the more volume that's coming in, that's the more your plants are going to be worth as well. So there's different strategies that you can use, and like you said, people are talking and they're developing their own strategy. The easiest one that we have is to just continue to do the 6-to-1, because that's like really sustainable for the project long term. Because if you are harvesting, if you're harvesting more than that 6-to-1, your ROI is going to decrease. So that 8% is going to slowly start to decrease, or not slowly. If you're harvesting every day or multiple times a day, it's going to decrease drastically. So yeah, if you want, a lot of people compound until they're getting their initial investment daily, and then
what if you're full degen like me, and you just keep compounding every day and don't take anything out?
Yeah, I mean, then your plants are just going to keep increasing, right? And then if on the TVL, we're obviously trying to take this, not to just 500 or 600 TVL. We want this to be in the thousands. So if you're continuously compounding, and we get to that point, right, you're going to have a shit ton of plants that when you get to that area, and you start to harvest more often, you'll have larger harvests, of course. More plants, bigger harvests.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
sounds good. So okay, I think we've probably got people in here that are not familiar with miners, and we've touched a little bit on baked beans. So do you want to talk to people about the comparisons between this project and baked beans? I mean, how much did baked beans end up with in their contracts at the peak?
Yeah, well, baked beans started for weeks. They had like only 20 or 30 BNB in their contract, and then I think I'm not sure what their catalyst was, but they obviously created this contract, and it was their first time. It was the first one on the market. So whatever they did to get this noticed, they blew up from 20 or 30 BNB to over 30,000 now. And as an investor standpoint, obviously, 30,000 is a lot of BNB, right? So you don't know how much longer that is going to go, right? Like that they've had an extreme run, and a lot of people have made a lot of money off of it. But as an investor, I mean, looking at that, and then also looking at the forks or the competitors that have lower TVL, the opportunity to have more gains is there on the smaller or newer projects, you could say. So yeah, they're the ones who created the future. August.
Sorry, what was that? I was too busy playing around with this farm.
Oh no, you're good.
My bad.
Okay, so I want to stick with that a second, because I think it's really important for people to understand. So baked beans created the smart contract that you're actually using for this miner.
Yes.
And what you've done is you've built on top of it, because baked beans didn't have any of this UI. It was just a rather boring kind of
they just
numbers.
Have five beans compound harvest.
So they were first to market, but
yes.
You're first to market with this idea that you've built on top of their idea. Is that
sure? Yeah, exactly. I mean, they have their one minor. They don't have any development on top of that. They just have that, and we're taking
No,
that
it's
and
literally just a minor, isn't it?
yeah. So we're developing this UI on top of that and this entire ecosystem that is built to support and sustain all of it.
So I know it's difficult because the market will decide ultimately, but what are you guys thinking? How much do you think? How many beans do you think this contract could get in it?
I mean, yeah, Douglas,
you want
go.
me to? I mean, maybe I'm just a little too optimistic. I don't know, or maybe biased, but
We do,
I'm
Jens. We like
looking to.
optimism.
I'm
Give us some
looking
hope.
to dethrone baked beans. I get they're the OG, but that's the beautiful thing about innovation. Like the first vehicle that ever existed, right? It wasn't as fast and as efficient as the vehicles that are out here today. People took the idea and made it better, and I think that's what we've done here. And this is, by the way, this is just like there's so much more we can do with this. Like, the graphics, I know, they're a little choppy, but like this is just the start of where it's going to go. Like our developer, he can put together so much stuff. Like he's very experienced at what he does. I mean, like right now you can see this, like inside of the actual metaverse, there's different options. You can water and harvest your plants from here without even having to do it from the panel. You know what I mean? It even has information that's laid on these two signs right here, showing the balance, showing how much plants you would get per BNB. There's so much that can be done here.
Yeah. I get it. I mean, I caught myself earlier when I went to going into the UI and clicking on the boring button, and then I was like, no, wait, I'm not confirming that because I want to go into my farm and actually go and click on the sign and watch all the cool graphics. So, I mean, what you've done essentially is taken. Well, I think it's probably disrespectful to call it a boring idea. Clearly, it's not a boring idea because, like, it makes money, doesn't it? It prints, and DJs love that. But what you've done is you've gamified that and made it look really pretty.
Yep, exactly. I mean, I'm not hating on baked beans by no means. It's they have a contract that works, and that's why we forked it. There wasn't really many changes to be made at all in there because it works. So that's why we chose to go with them. Why try to fix something that's not broken, right? We just took that and we added on to it and made it a fun experience while you're earning money. It's already fun to earn money every day, but to have like a interactive 3D metaverse in the background while you're earning money, that's even funner. That's
that's next level.
I'm not sure if you guys can hear it through my screen, but we had a recent update where we had a really talented artist create a song specifically for this farm. And we plan to have, on each farm, it's going to be a different song. But I want to play this real quick, just short. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It just loops. It'll play all day until you unmute it. But there's a feature right here where you can actually unmute the audio and you can listen to it playing. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it. I mean, it's just a really common song. Like you guys could probably hear it better through your PC, not through mine. So I would suggest if you haven't heard that, go there and check it out. Go to the website and play it. It's really cool. And the cool thing is,
does that also work through the app on Trust Wallet or MetaMask?
Yes. Yep. It does. It'll play over your phone. And I believe I'm gonna have to make sure with the dev, but I'm pretty confident it plays over VR as well. I'm pretty sure VR can, you can hear the sound if they have music or sound effects. So you can walk around your farm listening to the music that we have on here. So
Yeah,
we want to take. Yeah, I mean,
very
this was all done in 8 days. You know what I mean? So also, we're on Moonarch app. Miners, we're pinned at the top. So
I
this is
noticed.
a place where a lot of people come for their miners, and
How
I'm
much
trying to
did
load
that
it up.
cost you to get pinned at the top?
What was that?
How much did that cost you to get pinned?
I think it was like 3 BNB to get pinned for a week. So
Actually,
no, it's not bad. There's a lot of people that go here and check out different food farms and stuff. But yeah, you can see right here we're almost at the top of the pin list. 563 BNB. Yep.
So literally everybody that's going in there looking for a miner is seeing you at the top. And are you going to continue as you create your new farms for your new chains? Are you going to continue to get them pinned as well? It's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I wanted
that's actually pretty reasonable. If you go to play to earn, they're talking like 40 or 50K like dollars just for one advert. It's like, I mean, that's not bad, really.
I wanted to touch on the contract part because
please do.
Yeah, our first contract, it is like this is a baked beans direct fork, but the dev was also talking about some further development and ideas that he had for the new chains that we're going to be coming out with. So I'm super excited to get to get down with him and work something out or see what his ideas are for the future contract, because he's like he thinks he can make it better. So that's going to be dope.
Really? Wow, that does sound very, very cool. Actually, I like the sound of that. So, a couple more questions from me. I want to wrap this up in about an hour because, like, DJs struggle to cope for 5 minutes, let alone an hour, and if anything goes on longer than that. I want to go back to your coin, Tegridy. So, are you gonna be making that truly cross-chain so that you have bridges going to the new chains that you're going to be deploying on?
That's something that we're gonna talk about for sure. Right now, we haven't had any discussion about that, but that's actually a really good idea. So we'll take that into account for sure. I think right now our main focus is, we have, Dogus is working. We're getting the marketing that's continuing to come out sustainably and religiously, so that we always have something coming, coming in the community, and then working on.
I'm just thinking forwards a little bit, and for me personally, as an investor, if I see a coin that's talking about going cross-chain, and I know that each chain that it deploys on, the price is going to be linked across. So you have projects that just create new tokens on new chains, don't you? And like, so it doesn't have any effect on the token that's already deployed. But if you're telling me that you've got a token that's at a capped supply, that is you're then going to provide new liquidity for over on the new chains, and so the price is going to be linked between all those chains. That all of a sudden makes that a very exciting opportunity for me, anyway.
Totally, yeah. It's a great idea and something that we'll definitely keep in mind. I appreciate that.
Okay, you can pay me for that one later. All right. One more question from me, and it's about your tax. So I think you mentioned 8% buy and 8% sell?
Yeah.
I want to know what percentage of that is actually going into your treasury contract. for you to continue development with the whole project, and also how much of that is going to be put to siloed, if you like, for Tegridy Minor?
Yeah, so the for the Tegridy Farms token, 8% tax. It's broken down this way for buys and sells. It's the same exact way. 3% goes to the silo, which is basically the treasury, and that right there, the treasury or the silo, will be used for like buying back into the miner or buying into other projects, kind of like a DAO. Where we buy into other projects and use that as like an outside revenue source to feed back into the miner. We want to create as many ways as possible to keep volume coming into our miner and keeping it sustainable as long as possible. And then 3% goes to the liquidity pool to keep the liquidity pool padded to make the token as sustainable as possible. And we're going to have 2% that goes to marketing. So there's going to be a marketing tax, so we can, obviously keep pushing it and getting it out there to new users.
So, okay, in my little monkey mind, I've just added that up to 8%. So that means that you guys are actually taking none of that tax yourself for your team payments.
No, I mean, we're not getting paid from the token. We actually invested into this project ourselves as well, and it all works for the miner, and the miner works for us. So that's the way it works.
You get paid from the miner, right? So is it 4% tax on the growers fee and the watering fee?
It's 4.20.
420. Of course it is.
but that's also not, it's not money that we're taking into our pockets. That's money that's going back into and just supporting the project.
So how are you paying yourselves?
We're investors.
Fair. Okay. So you bought in privately, and your whole purpose for doing all this development and all the work on the project is to watch your own bags grow.
Indeed. Well, we didn't actually even buy in privately. We publicly launched, and we had a completely fair launch. I meant like with your private wallets rather than. Sure. Yeah, exactly.
You can actually go back and look at when we first dropped the link and when buys started happening. It was very fair. Nobody on the team had the link before anybody. The dev had the link, and he posted it into the Telegram, and we basically stealth launched. So it was very fair the way it happened, and we didn't pump to 2,000 BNB on in a couple seconds. It was a fair launch for everybody to get in, and if you go back and look at baked beans, it took a couple months before it really even started mooning and taking off. We want organic growth.
For sure. Right. I think that's enough grilling from Queen of Degens. what I'd like to do, because we're getting close to the hour now, and I'd like to keep it around about. I know we started a few minutes after the hour. So what I'd like to do now is open up to the community. And I think, there's a few of you in here. So if you post your questions in the chat, I'm looking here on my phone, and I will pick some of those questions, because obviously we've not got all night for this. I'll pick what I think are the best questions for Tegridy, the Farming Collective guide to answer. So go. Post your questions.
I got kind of a longer thought. Do I have to post that in the Telegram?
Yes, post it, Happy.
Oh, come on. I'm going to have to type for half an hour here.
Stop typing. I'll give you a minute. And in that minute, I can talk shit for a minute. We all know that I can talk.
Well, some of it's feedback, just feedback on the game that I want him to pass on to the dev.
Go on
So-
then, give us a bit. I'll give you the floor. Give us a bit of your feedback, but your questions have got to go in with everybody else's. And if I
All
think
right,
they're good enough, I'll pick them.
All right, yeah. So I got in a few days ago, and congrats on it. It's a great concept. It reminds me of an old Xbox 360 game that I got hooked on farming. The graphics are real similar, and congrats on the big team. But when I tried to get in, I tried to use a referral code, and I couldn't get in at all. I mean, it wouldn't pull up MetaMask or whatever. So I cleared everything, closed the wallet, tried again and again and again. I couldn't get in. So at that point, I tried without a referral code, and I have about 4,500 transactions on BSC this year, or in the last year. So I haven't had any trouble, and it wouldn't let me in. So I went to another device and another wallet, same thing. I couldn't get in, so I'm like, well, I'll just wait a little bit and try. And then, so 5 or 6 hours later, I did try again, and I was able to get in using a different referral code. So I don't know what it was in your system. I don't think it was on my end, but something was snagging me up. So if it's snagging me up, it might have been snagging someone else up. Secondarily, I noticed, and I've had this happen to me. I noticed when you were clicking through the screens, you came to a page. I think it popped up a server exception, and I'm getting lots of those. Just navigating around the farm, or when I reopen the farm, and when I'm looking at the farm and I just have it setting, the page will go away and it'll show me a server exception page. I don't have any trouble getting back in, but I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. Maybe you could pass it on to your dad.
Happy, are you in the Farming Collective's TG?
Yeah, I think I did sign. Yeah, I think I did sign up over there. I haven't made any posts though yet.
Good. What I suggest you do is write that down and go, because I know how difficult it is juggling all these things on the fly. So
I just want to get them
things down.
All right,
and get it over there, and then I'm sure that they can troubleshoot and squash those.
I just want to make sure all them beans are going in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. Let me see if I can get a couple questions in the chat here. I'll pull a couple out and put it in the chat. All right. Thanks for letting me have the floor.
Like remember, there's you guys are generously putting up one whole bean's worth of your token Tegridy, aren't you? And we're going to pick 2 winners. So potentially two people with the best questions are going to win half a B&B each of Tegridy. And like, bearing in mind, we've all looked at that chart and it looks like porn to me. That could easily be worth 10 B&Bs within the next couple of weeks with all the things that these guys have got on development. So get your questions in right now. I see a couple of people typing. I've got another question for Tom and Dogus. This is a pure DGen question, so bear with me, and it's one that every DGen wants to know. Are you going to rug us?
Definitely not. If you go, actually,
that's the right answer. But if you were a rugger, you would say that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, we would.
Let me tell you this. I'm actually doxed through another project, and I don't work with projects that are, shady or anything like that. And I've actually known this dev for over a year now from a project he's actually been working on for a year. He's got another main project that he's working on as well. And I know he's a safe dev. He's actually well known in the space. He doesn't want to tie his name to this yet until it really takes off. But yeah, I mean, he's a good guy, and he's actually doxed to me personally, so I know there's nothing that shady that he would do. You know what I mean? So that's not a concern to me at all. And I know take my word with a grain of salt. That's up to you guys if you want to believe me, but
We do.
yeah, safe project.
That's Tigus that was talking then. That's doxed, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a doxed publicly, but a lot of people who I'm in private chats with, like I'm very open. Like I post my pictures and all that. So there's definitely people in here that know who I am. And I'm a safe dude. I don't have any control of the contract, but everyone on this team has been together for quite a while, at least over a year. And we're working hard to push this for ourselves and our investors.
So what I'm hearing is that you're all doxed to each other internally, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And Dogus, you were telling us that you're doxed in another project. Do you want to tell us what project that is so people can go and have a look?
Yeah, it's actually Green Life Energy Global. If you type in www.greenlifeenergyglobal.com, you can see it. I'm on there. I'm the CMO as well on there. Like I said, I work with multiple projects. I can't just stay exclusive to one because I got to pay my bills. But I'm very picky with who I work with, and that's one thing that I pride myself with. Like is I make sure I work with projects that have people who actually want to change DeFi for the good, not do shady stuff and taking people's money like that. That's not how I roll. I don't work with people like that. So, like I said, you can believe me or not, but this is what I do for a living, and I wouldn't ruin my reputation, over something stupid. And I'm not going to work with people that I don't trust.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Right. Okay, we're getting to the end of the hour now. We've got a few questions here in the text. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask them, and then I'm going to let you guys pick the two winners. Is that all right?
Yep, that sounds good.
Okay, let's go. So first of all, first one's a comment. Look into Kronos. I would second that. Kronos is fucking hype at the moment. That's not a question. That doesn't go into the prize pool. So first question, rumor has it that you guys are getting an audit soon. Do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I mean, we at first we were saying like we don't think it's necessary because it's just literally a fork off of baked beans. You can compare both of those, and that one has been audited. But to really boost investor confidence, I know there's some people that don't want to take the time to compare the contracts like that, or don't even have the knowledge to do so, and it adds to investor confidence. So yeah, we're definitely going to be looking into getting an audit in the near future. So that's one of the steps we'll be taking soon.
Nice. And what about your token? Are you also going to be getting Tegridy audited?
We haven't discussed that, but that's probably the best route to get both of them audited.
May as well, if you got auditors in, you may as well let them have it. I know from my own experience, like if they're doing one thing, they're usually quite happy to do another thing as well. It's only another contract.
Yeah, audits and CG, CMC, all those things we're in discussion about for the future for sure.
Okay, sounds good. And do you have any idea of the auditors that you're looking at, or is that completely undiscussed as yet?
I mean, I think we're talking with quite a few different companies, but we just haven't chosen one yet.
Okay, right. That's good enough for that question. So next one is from Chardonnay. How long do you expect to be sustainable with the current growth of the project? Since you guys already did amazing. I think that's a good question. How long can this miner last?
Well, I mean, as Doug was saying before, we want this project. Like, we think this project could flip baked beans, in the future. So, thinking about it like that, we got a long way to go for sure.
Okay. Another question from the same person. will we have more minor opportunities like new pools?
Of course.
Sounds
Of
good.
course
Thank you.
Yeah, every time we
so
launch
now
on
we
a
got a
new,
question from Andy.
I was just saying, every time we launch on a
with-
new chain, that's a new opportunity to get in early on that one.
For sure. And where can people find out where you're about to launch next?
We'll update the community, keep everybody updated. So, you know, as long as you stay active in there, keep eye on it, and we'll make the announcement to let you know what chain it's going to launch on, give you a time as well.
So your TG is the place to find out all the info.
Correct. Yeah, and we'll probably post it on our Twitter as well. Our Twitter is pretty active.
Okay. Do you want to post the links up in the chat now so people have got that, and I'll pin it for you.
Yeah, I'll get it sent over.
Cool. Right, let's whiz on through these questions. I'm going to do quick fire now. So the next one's from Andy. What is the token price you need to reach to cover your current expenses? And go ask that question. He's got another question.
Sorry, Tom, you got that? I'm trying to paste these links over here.
I missed that. You mind repeating?
So what Andy wants to know, what is the token price you need to reach to cover your current expenses?
All of our expenses have been from the project. We're not paying anything out of pocket at the moment. So we don't have any other expenses to cover. Yeah.
So you're all done, and you just want to make this go to the moon so that you can all get your yachts with Lambos on, right?
Exactly.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not sure if I that, but yeah, we don't have any out-of-pocket expenses at the moment.
Oh, here's a good one. Only a DGen would think of a question like this. So Tufty says, are you afraid of getting sued by South Park lawyers?
No, we're not.
Good. I don't think you should be either. This is fucking DeFi. They can fuck off. Okay.
That's part of why we're not publicly doxing on this project, right? It's a Ponzi scheme. Like, of course, there's people that, you know, the project right now we're just building up, but obviously with anything, right? Like if people are coming into the tail end of things, like they could potentially lose money, you know, and we don't want to be responsible.
I think that's very honest of you as well. It is a Ponzi, but like people go, Ponzi is terrible, but actually Ponzi is really good if you get in early, and like I don't know, it seems to me like this is pretty early in this one. If you compare it to baked beans with like, I mean, I think I heard earlier they went up to 40k beans locked in, which like, and you're what, like five? I don't know. I haven't looked for a couple of months. It keeps going up.
Almost 600.
Almost 6. Woohoo! I hear that money printer going. Brrr! Right, let's get on to the next question. Next one's from Ash. I've had a few peeps in the space say they know the team. They know the team that I trust, actually. I don't think that's a question. Okay, it's just commenting. Right, okay, now I'm getting to Happy. You'll be happy that I'm getting to your questions. Happy Bagger says, what other use cases or features do you guys expect to add to the project ecosystem? For instance, what specific use cases for the token, and do you expect to add NFTs and or NFT functionality into the farming aspect of the game? And number two, go on, answer that one. Speak to that one first. So Happy's wanting to know about NFTs and shit.
We definitely have ideas for implementing some type of passive income through NFTs as well. Right now, it's not our main focus. Our main focus is promoting the miner and promoting the token. But as we develop, we're definitely keeping all of that in mind because the more the merrier.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. And then Happy's got another question here. When do you reasonably expect to add to a new chain? I think I asked you this earlier, but like, can you hone in on that? You know, are we talking days? Are we talking weeks or longer?
I think we were like one of our marks was around 1,000 TVL. So depending on how that comes, you know, we're definitely thinking about taking that step sooner.
Okay, 1K TVL. Happy, did you hear that? 1K TVL. Get your fucking beans into that contract now.
I got some beans in. I'll be putting some more beans in. I see it keeps rising, so I like it. It's on fire, and I like the concept. It's a great concept. I mean, the guys done a great job with it. I think they might have hit a little niche in this genre that might take off. So I'm impressed.
All right, Happy. Get in their chat and go and hype the chat like you do. Go and get some of your gifts in there.
Yeah, all right. I'll be in there.
All right, good. Okay, next question is from Mac. Have you looked into Kronos? It's a huge amount of momentum with a lot of good projects coming on board. So Mac is bullish on Kronos.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll be on everything.
Good. All right. So next one from Joe Amunda. I hope I pronounced your name right. Apologies if I haven't. Fucking DJ. I'm not good at like pronouncing names and stuff. So what? So a baby seal walks into a club? Fuck knows. I don't even know what he's asking there. So let's skip that one. Right. Roller Girl is asking, what this is an intelligent question from a true DJ. She's one of my besties as well, so I know she's a true DJ. What compiler version is this contract built on?
I have no idea. Maybe Douglas knows.
I'm actually reaching out to the dev because I just seen that question. So that's a technical question that I don't know. I don't work on contracts. It's 0.8.11. He just responded. So 0.8.11.
Oh yeah, of course it is. That makes total sense.
Yeah, I guess that's the version. I'm assuming on Solidity or I think it's Solidity. I believe.
And Roller Girl says, "Okay, that'll do."
Yeah.
Testing you. Okay, so last question here is from Sven, and he says, "Today I heard harvested for the first time. The contract told me a value of 0.0 BNB, but my BNB value increased in my wallet. Please tell me why and where to find the right amount transferred to my wallet." I think I know the answer to this. It's about decimals, isn't it? But like, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, the best way to find that information, the exact information, because a lot of the values that are on these miners and this is on any miner, what you see on there is just an estimation. It's not actually 100%. I mean, it's definitely in the ballpark, but it's not like, by the decimal on point, you know what I mean? So the best way to find that information is go into BSC scan. You can paste your wallet in there and you can see the functions where you harvested eggs or you buy eggs or whatever. You can see these different functions and you can go into the transaction and actually see the dollar amount that you got back. So that's the best way to do it. If you're really, crazy about what exactly you got in dollar amount, you can go check BSC scan.
And can you see on BSC scan how much rewards you've actually got? Where can people see that info?
Yeah, there's actually an ROI calculator we have on our Medium, and it's a document that you basically input how much plants you have, and it will give you this value that you paste into. It'll actually show you how to do it too as well. But you take that value, you go to the contract for the miner, and then you paste it in that function, and then you hit query, or I don't know how you say that fucking word, but
Query.
you paste it. Yeah, you paste it in there, and then you hit that button, and it'll show you another value, and then you can copy that and then paste it back into the ROI calculator, and it'll show you exactly the amount that you're earning at that time.
Sounds good. And I see you've put all your links up here. Is your Medium in there? I think.
Yeah, it is.
Medium's in there. Okay. Well, that's there. So
actually, if you look at the bottom, there's a link right there: ROI and daily rewards calculator. It's right there. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you. And we got one last question from DeFi Lo-Fi, who's managed to sneak in at the last minute. And I think we'll wrap it up there after this one. And DeFi Lo-Fi wants to know, is there any benefit to using referral codes for watering?
So they're saying using like what you earn from a referral and then adding that to water to compound. Is there any benefit? Is that what they're asking?
I think the question, DeFi Lo-Fi, do you want to come in and like just clarify what you're asking?
Yeah. So I'm just wondering, like if you've got two friends that are both in the project, does it help each other to use each other's codes for the watering?
Yeah, I've actually seen people doing that where they get like another friend and they use each other's referral code. So every time you water or harvest or whatever, they get a percentage of that. And then a lot of people just compound it. It helps them grow a lot quicker. So that's what I've noticed people doing. I don't do it in particular, but yeah, people have done that.
Sounds good.
Cool. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, let's decide who gets the prizes then. Guys, there's two of you here. Can you go through the chat, have a look at those? I don't expect you to remember them. You might do, but I'm DJing. I can't remember what happened 30 seconds ago. Can you have a look through the chat, look at those questions that you've just answered, and pick two different people, please, to win one of those prizes each?
Yeah, that's hard. There was a lot of good questions. Let me look.
It wasn't. That's why I'm having the decision to you.
If I win, my beans are going in.
Oi, stop it. Fucking DJ. Okay, Tom, pick one.
Pick one from the chat.
Yep. Tell us what the question is and what their username is, please.
My favorite question. Shit. What about Happy Badger?
Oh, Happy, you fucking swung that by telling us that you're going to chuck your beans back.
You guys, right. some more beans Happy. Are going in.
DM me your wallet and I'll get that over to the guys so they can get your Tegridy sent over to you, okay? So
appreciate
now, Dogus, pick another question that's not Happy, please.
Yeah, I'm looking through it right now, trying to pick. I'm hung up on a couple of them, so I'm trying to choose one here.
Woohoo! Got the 200, buddo.
I think Chardonnay, I like that question. It addresses a concern for a lot of miners, but I think, what we have is going to be sustainable for a lot longer than most of these miners. So I like his question because, it addressed that issue.
Okay, so Chardonnay, you're a winner. Please DM me your wallet address and I'll get that over to the guys. They can get your Tegridy over. What's the ticker name for Tegridy?
EFT.
T what, sorry?
It's EFT.
Still didn't catch that. You broke up.
TFT. If you look
TFT,
right
yeah.
here in the
Got ya. TFT.
Look.
Just need to know what we're looking for in PooCoin.
Cause us to lose them, right? Based on how the contract developed.
Well, so your rewards are not actually in your wallet yet, right? So they're basically kind of like an IOU from the contract. But if there's like, let's say the contract was to go to zero, which would obviously take a while if that was to happen. Like, people can't just immediately dump the chart like a shitcoin,
Right.
But basically, if there's nothing in there for you to pull out, then you can't get the reward. So that's the way it works. As long as there's BNB in the contract, whatever, and it's enough to cover your rewards, and you're good.
Got it. Okay, that makes more sense. So, and that's going to be based on the TVL, right?
Correct. Yep.
And that right there is the game in miners, or in any Ponzi come to that. And that's what you got to calculate. How early am I? Do I think more people are coming? So long as more people are coming after you, then you're fucking good to go.
I mean, I can assure you, like, we're not gonna stop here. Like, this is not even close to where we're headed. So, I wouldn't be too concerned about whether or not this is late. I think this is extremely early. And like I said, we're looking to dethrone baked beans. Maybe that's a very ambitious goal, but we got the team to do it.
Sounds good to me. Right. I just started recording again because you were asking some good questions, answering some good questions there, and I just wanted to capture that so we can get it into the video. So, again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know it's morning for you guys, isn't it? But thank you. And yeah, you're surf guys, right?
You said, do we surf?
Yeah.
I don't. I live in Georgia, so I mean, I could go to Savannah and surf, but it doesn't have a great waves. I know Tom does.
Tom's the surfer.
I have a question.
Go, Roller.
Is your model based on compounding for 6 days and claiming on the 7th day? Or is it like a totally different concept? Sorry, I missed the beginning of the AMA.
They did answer that earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
definitely. This is a fork off of baked beans, and that was the concept that a lot of people lived by, and it did really well. So
Okay.
that's what we promote. But some people compound even longer before they actually start harvesting. I mean, you got to
Yeah.
think the longer you compound, the more you're going to be earning per day. So it's totally up to
Exactly.
you on your approach. But the 6 for 1 is what most people promote, and this is a fork off of baked beans. So we're trying to head that same route.
Sure, thanks. No problem. Sorry, I missed the beginning and had to get you to repeat. But
That's
thanks
all
for
good.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Roller Girl. I mean, personally, for me, I'm full DJ, and I'll just be fucking pressing the compound button as often as I can and watching it rain. I want to get all those buildings.
Yeah, that's why we made it like that setup, because it gives people like goals to reach, and the more plants you have, the more. I mean, the cooler your farm looks, right? So it's definitely a goal set for a lot of people. Something a cool little feature we added.
And when people harvest their crops, do they lose buildings? Do they get things taken away, or do they stay?
They stay, because you don't actually, when you harvest your rewards, you're not actually losing any plants. So the way this feature is set up is, once you reach a certain amount of plants, you earn this building or this these farm animals. So you're not actually losing plants when you harvest. Now your ROI does kind of get harmed in the process. You know, the way this contract works is from my understanding, it like kind of targets people who keep harvesting. So they can't just sit there and, wells just drain the contract. So yeah, I mean, the more you harvest, the lower your rewards are going to be daily.
Yeah. Get that. Well, again, thank you guys. You've been awesome. I know you're busy guys, so if you want to fuck off now, you're welcome to. But if you want to hang out with us here, then you're welcome to hang out as well. But we're just going to be chatting shit now.
Yeah, I would love to stay in here, but I got a lot to do. Got a lot of work to do. We got to keep pushing this.
I thought you probably had. Thank you so much, Dogus, and let's stay in touch. And like seriously, if you want to invite me into your inner circle group, then like I would love
that. Yeah, I mean, we would love to add. There's a lot of people who'd love to add, but the guy that runs it, he's very picky on who he allows in there. But I'll ask him for sure.
Just tell him to DM me and talk to me, and I'll fucking convince him.
All right, I will. Thank you for hosting this. Like, I really enjoyed it. I appreciate it. You had really good questions. All of you did. So, if you have any more questions, you feel free to come into our community and ask. We're always there. Somebody on the team will be there to answer it.
Thank you, and I'll get those wallet addresses over to you. I'll forward to the guys that have just sent them to me, so you can get their Tegridy over to them, so they can get into that porn chart right away.
Yep, we'll get it out. We'll get it out to the winners. Thank you very much.
Thank you. See you later.
Hey, thanks, guys. Good AMA. I enjoyed it. Informative as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Have a good day, guys.
Queen Degens, what do you expect?
Yeah,
I ain't got an ego.
No, not even a little one.
No. Humble Jess. That's my other.
No,
AKA.
You are kidding. You weren't kidding about being a full DJ either. That's 100% right there.
Queen of Degens.